I'm your huckleberry.
What's up, fishy friends? Welcome to Tim's School of Fish, and class is in session. I am super excited today because we are going to do a brand new knife build kit from Jin Knives. This is the fourth Jin knife build kit that I've done. I absolutely love these things. First, we did the Captain, and I gave that one away. Then we did the Vaquero, cool little sheep's foot with bone covers, and then I modified those covers and burned them. Then we did the Kids Christmas Knife Build Kit. This is made out of G10. It's not sharp. Perfect little kit for kids. Today, we are going to do the Rhino, and this one is a button lock. So, without further ado, let's get this camera turned around and take a closer look. All right, so the Jin Rhino. I will link this down below if you want to go check it out. Perfect Christmas gift for the knife lover in your life. Also, a great way to introduce kids to knives and knife safety. Build something with your children or grandchildren. Get them excited about building something and spend some quality time with them. You can still get this in time for Christmas. Now, every single Jin knife that I've built so far has been a liner lock. This one is a button lock, so this should be fun. What I love about these kits is they come with everything that you need to build your knife from start to finish, and an instruction book to tell us step by step how to build this thing. The instructions are always very clear and well written, so let's get to it and build this Jin Rhino button lock. All right, step one says place the captive pivot liner with the D-shaped pivot hole into the designated groove in the right side scale. Now, these liners, one of them has a D-shaped pivot hole, the other one does not, so make sure you grab the right one. Add the standoffs onto the liner. Secure them by tightening the scale screws with a T6 screwdriver. It gives us a picture right here to follow. We're just going to drop the liner here. We're going to drop one standoff there, one standoff there, and tighten them down with the T6 screws. Nothing to it. Let's go on to step two. Step two says insert the pivot screw through the pivot hole in the scale, add one ball bearing over the pivot, and apply a few drops of oil. Slide that right through there. Now, I like to put the oil on the bearing first instead of afterwards. I just find it's a little bit easier, not quite as messy. So I'm just going to put a drop of oil on my fingers and drop it on there like so. Step 3 says insert the button lock into the button recess on the blade and place the blade onto the scale, aligning the button snugly with the buttonhole. Our button lock here, we'll slide that right in there. We've got a buttonhole right here, snapped right in there. Nothing to it. On to step 4. Step 4 says place the other ball bearing over the pivot, apply a few drops of oil, and position the stop pin in its place. So I'm going to apply a little oil, drop that right over the pivot to the blade, and then you can see there's a little stop pin hole right here just above the button lock. Put our stop pin right in there. There we go. Super simple. On to step number 5. Step 5 says fold the blade into the scale, position the standard liner with the circular pivot hole over the blade. Remember, I told you there were 2 liners. One of them had a D-shaped pivot, one of them did not. So we are going to fold the blade into the scale, grab our other one that does not have the D-shaped pivot. It should line up with the standoffs, and right over the pivot, just like so. Easy peasy. On to step number 6. Step 6 says insert the spring into the button, position the left scale, and secure it by tightening all the screws. One spring We're going to set it right here on the button lock. And there's a little recess in this scale for the spring. We're going to make sure those line up. Press it down. Start with my pivot screw here. Pivot screw is T8. So I'm just going to snug that down a little bit. I'm not going to over tighten it. Just enough to hold that spring in place. We're going to take our two scale standoff screws, which are T6. And again, I just want to make it snug. I don't want to over tighten. If you over tighten all these screws on the initial build, you're going to have to do a lot of tinkering to get everything aligned. So it's always good to just get it on there snug, just enough to hold everything together, then come back and retighten everything. Step 7 says assemble the pocket clip. Screw the thumb stud into your preferred position along the thumb stud slot on the blade, or choose not to install it. This is ambidextrous, so we are going to set this up for right-handed tip-up carry, so let's do that. I'm going to go ahead and try to drop these screws down in the clip first. I find that it's usually a little bit easier. All right, now I've got the screws in the clip. We'll just line that up. All right, now the thumb stud, let's put it up here toward the top. T6 for the thumb stud. Then it says, congratulations, you have built your own knife. Now open and close the knife to see if it works smoothly. Adjust the tightness of the pivot screw to suit your personal preference. So let's see how we did. Pow! The Jin Rhino. Awesome little knife. I like these JG10 scales. I'm definitely going to dye this one. Let's see how the button lock works. Look at that. Bam! Awesome little knife. I love this modified sheep's foot blade shape here. We got a forward swedge on it. A little bit of jimping on the spine there. Nice big finger choil. This is a small knife. It's going to be about a 3.5 finger knife, but it is super comfortable. Everything is chamfered down nicely, and that is buttery smooth. You can see that. I thought it was going to be a little complicated with the button lock, but nothing to it. Dead nut centered. Everything is pretty snug. I'm just going to give it one last. I'm not tightening it down so much that I mess up the alignment or anything. I'm going to leave the pivot exactly how it is because I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the centering. Awesome little knife. Absolutely love it, just like all of the Jin knives. So there you go, boys and girls. That is the Jin Rhino button lock. Absolutely love this one. I have loved all of them that I have done so far. Like I said, I will link it down in the description if you want to go check it out. Perfect Christmas gift. You've still got time to pick one of these up and get it in time for Christmas. As always, I appreciate you for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Drop me a comment down in the comment section. Let me know what you think of the Jin Rhino. Let me know if you've done any Jin knife kits before. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Just click my logo right over there. That's it for this episode of Tim's School of Fish. Boys and girls, class dismissed.